Happy Monday, everyone. Monday, start of a new week. I completely lied to you yesterday because I said I'd be with you with the noons, but it all changes in a blink of an eye. Got to be on your toes here at Make Movement Your Mission HQ. I switched with Kels today, so after a week of me at 4pm, you got me for another 4pm, so catch up us. Sorry about that. Because Kels is back tomorrow and it is only a single day, I'm going to stick on the theme of just when we thought that the sock roll sway was done and dusted for a bit. I've got a crowbar in another day with a bit of a change, maybe some kind of reprise, some kind of sock roll reprise. So it's me again. Surprise, Chris. It's me. You thought you'd see me at noon. Get Kels instead. Yeah, it's Bex o'clock seems to be kind of any time o'clock at the minute, Andy. We're all kind of interchangeable. That's the beauty of the Movement Snack team. We're totally interchangeable. Like kind of like your devices, your device chargers, they're interchangeable. We're a bit like that. I'm just trying to think of other things that are interchangeable. Maybe you can think of some. Afternoon, Chris. It's you and Andy in again. First two in. There's some others there lurking. If you are lurking and you'd like to say hello, just give us a wave or just say, all right, I'm in for some additional movement minutes. Surprise, surprise, Ian Wright. Now I've got Cilla Black in my head, Ian. That's not a good thing. Surprise, surprise, the movement's going to hit you right between the moving parts and supporting parts. Ian, I have to tell you, today I've been out to buy a new printer. I've got printer connectivity frustrations. Oh my goodness me. Anyway, Ian, that document that I printed for you was the last thing that came out of my printer of about 15 years, I think. So once I've got it, I think I have succeeded in connecting it now from my phone, but not from my Mac because I need to upgrade it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. We coordinate together, you and Chris. Yeah, so it's something wonderful, something kind of artistic. I was going to say there. Oh, Andrew, you make me lose my teeth. Right, come on, give me some headlines, please, because I am rambling. We've got an extra day, who knew, of sock roll sway and stretch. I haven't been able to check it. I had a brief check-in with Dave this morning. Totally missed Kels because I was out doing stuff because we did the switch. Hey, who needs them? Well, indeed, Odile. Oh, my goodness. So you have to count to 10, don't you? Or sometimes longer. Go, right, start again, read the instructions, start from the beginning, not halfway through. Oh dear, what have you been up to, please? Garden activities, housey things, anything special, anything looming, anything on the horizon? I don't recognise that icon. Someone's just come in and I can't see who it is. I can see Maddie's in. Afternoon, Maddie. Let me just have a look of the time. Minute or so. What's to report, please? I keep getting messages from you, from the Movement Snack mates, about those of you that are getting involved with the research with the University of Manchester. Thank you so much. Happy to help in any way. If you can't download or you're having problems with those links, do let me know. Send me a private message. We can help that out. Movement swayers. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Vivian. Needs a nice gentle sway. We got you back when it comes to movement and supporting parts. It's goat to be done. You know what I'm talking about if you see my pre-message. All right, Gloria. Gloria's been busy. Gloria, I drove through Emsworth today with Mum. Preparing soil for future vegetables. When they grow up, oh dear, are they going to be vegetables? When they're all grown up. Hopefully they come to fruition more successfully than my bonsais appear to be. Cooking and sewing from Gillian with a J. Thank you very much. Thanks, mate. Just, it's everyday stuff, isn't it? It doesn't have to be really exciting. It just is. Just having a chat. I think we're there. Going to do a 3, 2, 1. So apologies, folks. After me giving you this big announcement yesterday that it was a week change and a rota change, you've got me for another 4pm. You have got Kels for the rest of the week on 4pms. I think. And you've got me on a couple of switches with Dave on 8 a.m.s and news. So it's a bit of a mixed bag week. One of us will be here. That's all you need to know. 3, 2, 1. My name's Beck Stanley from Later Life Training. In for the 4 p.m. movement snack. 3 a day for over 13 months. Started out as 10 minutes, more like now 20, 21, but you can leave at any point. Take from the movement snack what you would like. Check your area, as I say, check your area. Someone's just sent me an angry face. I hope that's a thumb slip, but do let me know if I've said something inappropriate. Never know what my brain says when this goes live. Have a look at your aria, clear floors, feeling good to move. Take those seated options if you prefer. Have that have that external support close to hand. Have a look at the movement. Make sure it's the right one for you. Remember, you can see me. I can't see you. Hello, Carol from Glasgow. And someone's chilly, but I can't see who. Someone's ready for a foot spa. Can't quite see the name. I'll read that after. Come on, let's go. Okay, clear floor surface. Got the shorts on today. Shoes back on, the rug's back in. Check that your footwear is appropriate for your floor surface. External support. Chair of about knee height so you can comfortably hip walk or move in and out. Let's start with the standing prompts today. Close, hand on if you need, lift and lengthen, about hip width at the feet comfortably. Check that you feel balanced and confident before you do anything at all, and that might just mean having a glance and just adjusting the feet, not too wide and not too narrow, just right, so that when you start the march, it's easier to transfer that weight from one leg to the other when we're at about hip width. Lots of ankle activation. Can you see I'm peeling the heels off? This circulation boosting march is driven from the bottom up, looking to use the ankles and feet and toes as opposed to the flat foot stomp. So try to really lift the heels first, lift the heels first, toes down first. Lengthen, activate in the centre, so upright, shoulders back and down, and start to include the arm with a steady controlled march. If you know this external support is important, have it in front of you, that way you can switch between the two. We're just ticking over, we're lightly, gradually lifting the heart rate. That's the stand prompts. Here's the sit prompts if you prefer. I'm going to come down to sit. If you haven't already, into active sit position, have a hip walk forward if you know that you want to include the legs, the feet today. Lift and lengthen, just kind of get that trunk position kind of locked in with a bit of movement. So can you feel supported and still as the arms are moving? When they both come in, you'll have a little bit of controlled turn. Check that you're not into shrug mode. So shoulders are down, freely moving comfortably, your pace, not my pace. And if you can, separates, remember the separates, stop the arms and then build the legs. Even if you have intention to stay in sit positions today and you looking to progress standing work, just at every opportunity involve the ankles, the feet and the toes. Low lift of the foot, pushing up rather than lifting, and then as and when you feel ready, bring it together. 1, 2 arms. Coordination required here. If it goes wrong or wayward at any point, take a pause, have a pit stop, take that breath, lift and lengthen, active sit, and then bit by bit, build it again, bit by bit. And how does it feel? What we're looking from this Circ Boost is rhythmical, flowing, doable movements. If it requires too much thought or it's not going right for you, just make it a little bit easier. Even if you do arms, single arms, left and right, separates with the legs. Don't forget you've got the march option. Pick the right rhythmical movement for you. I'm going to push up to stand, remain in sit if you prefer. And now we're going to move on to the second part of the movement snack. So deep breaths, shouldn't be breathless or out of breath, but nicely heart rate lifted, and deeper breaths should be now in place for you. All right, let's pick off yesterday. So we had a whole week of sock roll and sway last week. So I'm going to start a new routine. I'm going to add a tweak to that if you would like. So let's just pick it off where we left it yesterday. The feet, if you are in standing and you want to add the sway, just have a glance down and just take those slightly wider. So any shift or sway, we want a little bit more width on that base of support. Soften the knees, toes are slightly pointing out. Feel steady and strong before you start. Lift and lengthen if you're in stand. If you're in sit, high up on sit bones. Active, again, feet might be a little bit wider if that's comfortable for you. And let's pick off on the arm sequence of last week. I'm going to take it in stand. Leave one behind it if you would like. I'm going to use two today. We take the float arm up here, hands at kind of tabletop height. Ease in, leading with the thumbs, crossing over, leading with the elbows on the way back. Come back in, cross over. Lead with the elbows, and when we come back to the centre this time, we take what we've affectionately called the sock roll. Back of the hands together, back to tabletop parallel, into a turn and a return. Pause in the middle here. As and when you feel ready, you could start to add a little bit of sway if you want, but for now, here's the second part. Have a watch if you're not sure what's coming next, and then join in. So we took the sock roll to parallel stand. Push away, small controlled step, back to parallel, and then back to wide. And that was the sequence we built last week. I've got a slight change for you if you would like. It's entirely up to you. Have a look. So currently, when we take the sock roll, we're taking an inward dive, leading with the thumbs and the back of the knuckles come to join. There's a variation on that, folks, and that is a gaze into the hand. So thumbs coming up, having a gaze into the palms and a raise. Then there goes the sock roll, elbows come out, and then we have this kind of swoosh forward property there. Then we come back through again, gaze into the palms, back of hands, push down, swoosh through. So we're taking the sock roll in the opposite direction first. And can you see what that does to the feel of the movement? So take a pause. What I'm going to suggest we do the first bit exactly the same. So when we do our gazes to the middle, gaze to the other side, and then when we take the forward step, we're going to take it in the other direction, swoosh and push, come back round, stay in parallel, and swoosh and push like so. That's my add-on from last week. If there's any part of this sequence that you're still thinking about, stick just with one element of it that you like the feel of. So you might just want to stay with this bit. You might just want to stay with the sock roll feel. You can stay with one bit or all of it. It's entirely up to you. So pick the bit you like the feel of, or follow my leads. Entirely up to you. All of this can be achieved in seated as well. So let's go through one more time, extra slow, and I'll try and crowbar in the options to remind you. Slightly wider to begin with. Here we go. Tabletop float, hand jive section, crossover, lead with the thumbs, then lead with the elbows. Lead with the thumbs, then lead with the elbows. And on the third one, we've got the sock roll, usual one. Thumbs down, round, anchor the hips, turn and gaze. Really strong in the supporting end here. Sock roll again, same as yesterday. Take the turn and return to the centre. Here's the potential change if you would like. I'm going to come to parallel, look at my hands, fingertips towards me, push forward, back to parallel, and then a repeat there. Last one this time, and then come back to wide and release. Take a pause in the sequence. So if I come a bit closer just to reinforce the difference here. In the week we did the sock roll with thumbs down first, and we also added the roll around the hands if you would like. Today's variation comes this way, so look into the hands, then take the roll and push down and forwards. All right, that was our variation of sock roll and sway. Now I'm going to move into the stretches. So take a few preparatory shoulder rolls, perhaps some open and closed position, and when you're ready, go for that hand fixed position. Keep using this support if that helps you. And for the stretches, remove any balance challenge. That could either mean just resting the hips on a sideboard, taking the stretch here, or a wall, of course, but that might be restrict the elbows. So might be sit there and just have that pause and relax each time. You should be able to maintain your usual breathing here, folks. So lift up, ease back. The hands can stay in front, just ease the sternum forward, or they can slide behind. It's entirely up to you. All we're trying to do is get into slightly bigger ranges of motion to what you're ordinarily used to. And this one is a big one, isn't it? It's all about breathing, about comfortable shoulder movements. All of our lifting and carrying movements require shoulders and shoulder blades. That's going to be much more effective if we are able to come upright and really use those shoulder blades as optimum support. So alongside the kind of middle of the back and the shoulder blades, let's think about shoulders. So take a few rehearsals here, fingertips to the side of the head. And as you do this, keep your shruggers down. So we're not looking to shrug as we lift the arm. So if anything, ease that down and then just go for the arm movement. And then bit by bit, ease the elbow up. And when you feel ready, take the pause. Bit of a pause, slowly out. Extra rolls in between, so keep the neck long, keep the head still, remain active in the middle, ease up to a position that's comfortable for you, take a bit of a pause and just be aware, has this eased up a little bit further than it ordinarily does in everyday life? That's all we're trying to achieve here. Bit by bit and over time, you might want to go for an extra hold. It's entirely up to you. The most important thing is that we've gone to that place. All these stretch positions, much better and recommended to be done once you've been moving and the muscles are a little bit warm. Moving down into an extension, if you like, of that getting your hand to the back of your head is getting the arms higher. So you might want to take a few rehearsals of a lightly supported arm. Again, no shrug until you get about here. Then you can shrug and raise the rib cage and come down. So just keep them long there, and then round about here, there's the extra squeeze. When you do that with single arms, if that's comfortable, you'll see that we can ease forward and up, and to get that extra height, we bring in that shrug and that rib lift there. That's how we kind of get to those bits that are just out of our reach. They could also be rehearsed comfortably with a wall. So one hand in the wall for support here, and then the ease and the reach. And again, it's to keep these movements on your radar. If you haven't had a reach or a grab or a carry today, then maybe crowbar these movements in just to keep them on your radar. In seated, it might look like this with support. You might want to go out and a slide up. Everything is slow so you can feel how it's going for you. That's the top end. 2 stretches now, she says, looking at the clock, 4 legs, starting with the back of the thigh. This is to enable you to move more freely and easier with less effort, down to lower levels. So buttocks anchored to the chair, lift and lengthen out of the hips, take the control, straight leg, knee off the lock, slightly relaxed foot, it may be that you already, just by shifting this position around the hips and your pelvis, you might already feel that sensation of stretch. And if that's so, you're already there. So just extending that leg and lifting taller and getting rid of that bendy bit in the back there, you might already feel that you've extended the leg more than you already do. This is good. So it might be then that you step out of that, have a pause, and go again. If you're not quite feeling that you've got that stretchy sensation, that feeling of tension where the muscles get a bit longer than it's used to, check the knees off the lock, lift and lengthen, and then ease and slide. So you can just ease the fingers down the front of the shin here, chest and head stay lifted, and I'm literally hinging from the middle bit, not bending, not doubling over in the middle, so you can get an effective stretch position. We can comfortably get hands to lower places by using the strength and support of the trunk with the movement around the hips. Can you feel it? Back of legs here. Have a little pedal, have a bit of a release every now and again, and maybe repeat. Over time, just kind of clock, make a note, a mental note or an actual paper note of where you can comfortably get your hands down to shoes, socks, toenails. And in fact, next week, end of month, so we're coming up for a progress check also. In addition to reaching activities, i.e. the benefit of that movement, is also stride length if you're working towards feeling more confident on your feet. Okay, last stretch of the day. Well, with us anyway, for sure you'll be continuing to stretch throughout the day. The start position is the same, so now we're looking at the muscles on the back of the lower leg. Start up's the same, but this time pull the toes back towards you. Can you feel the stretch now in a different place? Lower down in the leg, maybe a little bit more behind the knee and the calf there, and release. If you've got shorts on like me, when the toes come back, now you can physically see those movements up the front of the shin, those muscles pulling the toes back. So it's about freeing up the movement around the ankle to help with, for example, walking. And not only just walking, but walking and different stepping directions. So this calf stretch, really significant, supporting ankle movement. And plus we've got those shin muscles working as well, the ones that pick up the toes when we walk. Other options for that is stand. I'm going to push up to stand to show you this. Use this support for these stretch positions. We're not wanting to challenge the balance, but if you are working towards standing activities, then rehearsing these stretches in stand is going to be beneficial. Here's your support. There's the controlled step, ball of foot, and then slowly see how that feels as the heel goes down. If it's comfortable, once it's down, you'll get that stretch feeling on the back of the lower leg. You'll also get it on the front of the hip here. Peel it off, step in, bit of a foot pedal, change sides. Do just be aware when that leg goes back, have a glance down. Your feet are still actually hip width apart, so it's just stepping directly back, so you're still in parallel lines and not a single line, if you see what I mean. Up taller, an extra squeeze, and you really will start to feel this is an important stretch as well, significant to all our hip hinging and extending activities. I think that's it. Should we finish with a few shirt offs just to get everything moving together? Because in daily life, generally, everything moves together or in pairs. Lots of things happen at once. A few Bex hugs to finish off. Maybe a few squeezy downs. Maybe a few upper back as well. So whatever feels good for you. If you've been lifting, carrying, pushing, bending over and weeding, just these extension type movements, just kind of getting some length back into the muscles can feel really good as well as being beneficial. I don't know when I've put my glasses, but I'll find them and go back round and read your comments. That was it. I think that's the end of Sock Roll Sway. Who knows what will happen tomorrow, but as it stands, I I won't be with you lunchtime tomorrow. I'm on the 8 a.m. tomorrow morning because I'm teaching all day. So I've done a switch with Dave. So I'll see you in the morning at 8 a.m. just to confuse you. I'm confused most of the time. That's it. Right, I'm on dinner duty. I'm off to feed us. So I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8. I guess I better think of a suitable motivational tune for you all. See you tomorrow, folks. Bye for now.